Hey everyone, Ande Lyons here, 4 times founder, startup champion, and host of the Startup Life live show. And I'm here today with the amazing Cindy Fossouo from Information Systems Builder. She's the founder and CEO of this phenomenal startup. And we're going to dive into your background, Cindy. We're going to talk a bit about what brought you to entrepreneurship, what starting a tech business has been like, and what you've learned along the way. I know your insights are going to add value to so many other women of color who are forging their way in the startup ecosystem. First, though, let's dive into where you've been. What's been some of your lived experience that's led you to this point in being a startup founder?
Yes, thank you so much, Andy, for having me. I think for me, starting a startup has been very challenging, but I love what I do. My dad was actually a founder himself.
No kidding. So you were exposed to entrepreneurship as a kid?
Yes, I was. Yes, my dad had a company. And I think I look up to my dad a lot. He started his company in his early 30s, right? And for me, he was working for someone. He got the experiences and then he just created his own company. And I know what he told me a story that people just thought he was crazy. Like, what? You quit your good paying job to start, a company. And, for me, I really believe that growing up around that environment was just made me think, oh, I want to have my own too. And my mom is also someone that she's very, very ambitious. She's a go-getter. So I think I am the only child. So my mom and my dad are both strong people, independent. So I think for me, growing up in that environment,
Oh my gosh, Cindy, you grew up in the best landscape for becoming a founder. First of all, your dad provides the best of examples and representation, correct?
yes,
Excuse me. And what he does and has done for you for years is show you that it's okay to leave that great paying job because you have work to do as an entrepreneur. And for him, he needed to be self actualized and fulfilled
yeah,
as a business owner. He could not do that under the umbrella of another company. And so
yes,
to see, a man go off and do that, so wonderful. And then your mom, ambitious. See, we love that word with women. Ambition is a wonderful word. It's been tried to, men have been trying to beat that out of women forever. It is wonderful. And women with each other have done that. And
hmm,
to be an ambitious woman is great. And what I love that your mom instilled in you was go out and do it.
oh
She
yeah,
is
my
that drive. I can feel that in your mom.
yeah, she's someone that she has to have her own. And I think that's what I grew up around. She's someone that she has to have her own. She doesn't need to depend on a person. She's someone that, okay, if I need my own stuff, then I'm a go-getter and I'll work for it. So
Well, and see, here's what I've learned about you since I've met you, right?
mm,
Is that you do go after it.
yeah.
And you represent beautifully and how, look, I want this to happen. How do I make this happen? Who do I need to talk to? And you have such confidence in that strategy that you are okay with asking for help. This is one of the
Yes.
biggest challenges founders have,
Mm,
Cindy, is not asking for help because they're
yeah.
worried. What does it look like if I have to ask for help? Does it mean that I can't do it? No, people. It's the greatest gift you can give yourself and others. Let folks add wind to your sails and have them make it easier for you. There's no training ground for this adventure that you're on as an entrepreneur. So, what experiences did you have leading up? Like, did you go to college? Did you go work for other companies? What helped you have and create a landscape of knowledge that said, okay, I'm ready to go and build information systems builder? What informed
Yes.
you along the way?
Yes, for sure. where did information systems builder come about? I went to school. I always knew I wanted to create my startup. I always knew this. My parents would always ask me, "What company do you want to work for?" And
Oh my
some
gosh.
some kids are like, "I want to work for Facebook. I don't want to work," and I was like, "I'm starting my own company." Like, I was just one of those kids, and my parents were just like, "No, honey, like you need to." First like work for 10 years, and I'm like, if I know I'm gonna if I know I'm going to make be a founder one day, why waste 10 years? This was literally in my head.
Hey, 1 year would be fine. 6 months, you can learn a lot, right?
Exactly. And I just felt like if I know what I'm doing, and if I know that what I'm doing and I'm good at it, I don't need to waste my talents working for someone else. I could
That's right.
take my talents and work for myself. So I always knew that after university I would start my own, get some formation, do internships a little bit, work a little bit just for like a year, and then start my company. So starting information systems builder has been amazing. I love what I do, and I found a problem that I think that tech startups need.
And
And
what is that? Because what does information systems builder mean? Like, how did you come up with that name when you formed your business?
oh, very interesting question, and I've never, said the story to someone before, but Information Systems Builder was my dad's company. So
Oh,
the
great.
name is my dad's because my dad um, created a company in Cameroon. It's in Africa, and the name was Information Systems Builder. And this was the first company that he's ever done. It was very successful, and at a point, he just sold it off, and I he kept the name, but he kept the name. And when I was building my startup, I was thinking, what name should I come up with? And I was like, "Oh, damn." I was like, "Okay." I called my dad and I was like, "Remember, like, your company, like, years
Back in the day.
back in the days? What was it called?" And I was like, "I'm gonna call my company that." So, this
Well,
is
you know what? And what's great about it is so often, and founders, you'll see this, everybody comes up with the newest trend for their name.
yeah.
But this is a retro name. I
Yes.
mean, I'm old enough to know information systems is where we started in the 80s when we started bringing in artificial intelligence, machine
Mhm,
learning,
mhm,
anyone building systems,
mhm,
right? So key. So I love that it's retro and current at the same time
mhm.
because it tells people what you're doing. So talk about that. What are you doing? What is this problem that you found that you fell in love with? And who are the people you're solving it for that you also love?
Yes. So my journey with Information Systems Builder was I had a lot of founders, friends in the tech
Mhm.
world. I would meet people, they're founders, and they were geniuses. They knew how to build a great technology. They knew what they were talking about, and they would be like, "Yes, I built this. This is amazing. This is this." And I would ask them. I would say, "Okay, but what about like the marketing? What about the branding? Like, how will you um, show this to the world? How would the world know about your product that you built?" And they were always like, "Oh yeah, I'll just I don't know." Like they hadn't had it figured out.
Of course, that they were because these are engineer brains, right? So their feeling is, well, I'll build it and then people will love it.
Exactly. And I was like, and I told him, I said, you can't sit home with a great product and think and expect people to know about your product. When you build a product, 80% of the time, it's how you brand it, it's how you market, it's how you reach to your target audience. If you're
Right.
building something for me, then you won't go to Andy to sell it to her because
Right.
it doesn't identify with Andy. So you need to make sure you know who are you targeting? How do you message yourself? How do you brand yourself to target who you're trying to target? And people love a good storytelling. They love you to describe your product,
Absolutely.
how it would help them. So I and all of them had the same problem. right? I
Right.
found this common thing. And I was like, oh, wow, if I could help tech startups with this main problem, it would be amazing. And a lot of companies that need a lot of help is tech startups, because
Yes.
these big companies, they already have the branding, right?
Right.
They already have everything, so they don't really need help in that aspect. But when you're just starting your startup, when you have no idea, okay, like, I don't know where to go, I don't know who to brand it to, I don't it could be a little bit challenging.
Can I share your website with everybody, because
Yeah.
this is just what I love the most, is being able to, like, and you've nailed it. You've nailed it on your website, and in a way that is clever and fun. And yes, build a stronger brand presence for your tech company. That's brilliant. That should be your tagline everywhere you glow. And how information systems builder understands the rapid fire nature of the tech industry and work. I mean, I just love all of this. But what I really love is, let me just scroll down a little, folks, because it's so cool. Even tech geniuses need help. Isn't that great? And so it's branding and tech marketing and ISB solutions. And here she goes on to, Cindy, you go on to say, why information systems builder? You've got all the reasons why. And here are the services. And finally, do you need branding for your tech startup? Information systems builder is your go-to place. So, really focusing on the problem right away. I just love that about your language and your own marketing communication and your own understanding, and always looking at the pain points of those tech founders, whether they want to admit it or not. And what I really, really love is how you say tech geniuses, even tech geniuses. So right away, you're fanning and honoring the egos of your tech founders, which is so important. They need to be seen, they need to be heard, they need to be validated, for being uniquely qualified to be building what they're building. But and as a person who I co-hosted a startup pitch event here in Boston for 3 years. I've been around, and again, Boston, San Francisco, we trade places a lot. And who's the number one startup ecosystem? But we have MIT, we have Harvard, we have some of the top uh, tech founders in the world building here in Boston. And it is the same thing. They're like, marketing? What? And folks, marketing is not creativity. That is a tactic. What you're talking about, Cindy, is how to really understand the language of the people they're solving the problem
Yeah.
for, so they can communicate to them. This is data.
Yeah.
Without marketing, data is like driving a car without a steering wheel. You are solving such an important problem. So,
Mhm.
when did you launch Information Systems Builder?
I launched this information systems builder August 2nd
Of 20
of 2022. Officially,
Congratulations.
yes.
Officially. So
Officially,
you had been in beta, you'd been talking to
yes,
your tech
yes.
geniuses, you'd been doing a little MVPing, as I like to say.
Absolutely. And I would say, because I know earlier you said what are the challenges. I would say the challenges is just go for it, right? Don't think about it too much. I think one thing about me is even if it's scary, I like to look at it. I'm like, okay, this looks very scary, but I'll look at it. And I think also it's very easy to give up, especially in this
Right.
founder world. It's tough. It's tough, and it's I was reading, whenever I just feel like giving up. I watch a lot of people that I admire, like Mark Zuckerberg, and they never gave up. That's one consistency that I see with all of them, all of the greats. They
Right.
never give up, even if they have the opportunity to give up. I know Mark Zuckerberg. I know that someone wanted to buy Facebook for $1 billion, and he was around my age, and he said, no, I know Facebook is going to be worth 10 times that, and no, I'm not selling it for $1 billion. Now, I his company, I think, was at that time was not, I think at that time, revenue wise, if they're giving you $1 billion, it's easy to say, oh yeah, they're giving me $1 billion. Yeah, but he knew his